Hello everybody, welcome, welcome. So in this reading, this is going to be for an individual reading, for a tarot card reading, and this is going to be for a Libra, it's going to be a air sign, and it's going to be for a, the zodiac sign of what's going on. So this is going to be for a Libra reading for May 13th to May 23rd of 2025. So basically in this whole entire reading, it's going to be based on how it's going to be. And we have to understand about what's going on in this whole entire society, right? We have to be on about how we can do it in one way or another. We have to put ourselves into perspective and thinking, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be. I need to consume this. I need to divine about what's going on, right? You have to divine about timing. You have to do that, right? You have to use your own sense of humor, your own sensibility, your own rights and your aspects and everything else, right? You have to do exactly what you're going to be told to do. But the way how this is, the way how you're going to do it, is the way it's going to be. And when everything seems to be all great, this is the way of how it is, right? This is going to be how it's going to be. And when it is, it's going to be very interesting indeed, right? So you have to keep in mind that when this is a very interesting way, this is a way of how it's going to be in that way. Because you have to understand that. So when things to be into a different perspective, that's the way it kind of goes in that way. And you're thinking, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do, but then it's like how we can understand the way of how it is, the way of how it seems to be, right? That's how it is. So, in this oracle card, it says humor. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. That's the way it kind of goes, where you're using your sensibility, your own humor. You make people laugh, whatever it is. But then you have to stand up when you have your own ability. From having your own sense of humor, you do what it takes. You do what you can, right? That's the way it goes. And when you do exactly how you're told to do, you have to be responsible on how you're feeling. That's why it seems to be. You have to use humor to make positivity. Like, make a positive outcome. You know what I mean, right? That's what it seems to be. And when you do that, you have to understand about how it's going to be in that perspective, because that's the way it goes. You have to know what it takes to understand about how it seems to be in that way. And you're thinking, okay, well, if I use my own humor, I got this, and that's how it seems to be, right? That's how it is. So this is going to be for a Libra reading. This is how it's going to be for you, Libra. And this is how it's going to be in that way. So you have to understand that how it's going to be in that way. And you're thinking, okay, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know how I can do it, how I'm going to do what it takes and beyond about this, and it's the way it seems to be. So you have to understand of how you can do it in one way or another, but then you have to understand that how you can understand about how it seems to be in that way, right? That's the way it kind of goes. So you have to do what you can to do what it takes to understand about how it is. So you have to do what it seems to be in that way, right? So this is how it's going to be in that way. And you're thinking, well, this is the way it seems to be. I know what to do. I need to do exactly what I'm told to do. You're responsible. But the way how this is, the way how you can see it, that's the way it seems to be in that way. That's just the way it kind of goes. But this is how it is. So here we go. So this is how it's going to be in that way. This is going to be a very interesting reading indeed. The Queen of Cups is up right. There's empathy. There's two sides of the story here. One makes sense, one doesn't make sense, right? But for you, Libra, you need to pay attention to what's going to be interesting of how it is. Like, you have the Six of Pentacles reversed, there's no kindness here. I don't know why you're not being kind, but you need to understand about how the ability from how it is. The High Priestess reversed, you're not using your inner voice. Two of Wands reversed, there's no planning. The Four of Pentacles reversed, you're not looking for any money. And the Hierophant reversed, you don't have any guidance, right? So you have to understand about how you can do it in one way or another, where you need to do what it takes to beyond about that, how you can understand, right? This is not going to be letting go or whatever it is, but you have to do exactly what you're told to do. Be responsible. Because when you do that, you have to have your own intuition about what's going on in that way, right? You have to understand about how the basics of how you're feeling in the way of how this is, right? So this is how it's going to be in that way. So I'm going to go from going for the Four Pentacles all the way down to, all the way from this side all the way to the High Priestess. So let's see what's going on. So Ace Pentacles reversed, Eight Cups reversed, Three of Wands reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, and the Ace of Cups reversed. Yeah, see, there's the way of how it is where you have the Three of Wands reversed. There's no communication because you're not being educated. When you have no education, it's like why you're not being communication, right? Why you're not being communicated, and you know how it is, right? Because when you do that, it's like how it's gonna be in that way where you have to do exactly what you're told to do. What's well, the way the Three of Wands here? The two pentacles upright, yeah, because you're balancing two things at once. You know that's the way it goes. When you're balancing, you know what it takes, and that's how it is. What's going on with this Ace of Cups here? The Moon reversed, followed by the Hierophant reversed, followed with the King of Swords is upright. Yeah, because you're focusing about having knowledge where you don't have any guidance whatsoever, but you have to do exactly what you're told to do. If you have guidance, you have things, then fine. But when you have no guidance, it's like, why are you, having this problem, right? It's like, why are things are not going your way, right? This is the way it seems to be. This is the way of how it goes, where you need to understand that. That's how it seems to be. And beyond about how this is the way it seems to be. If you're balancing two things at once, then you're doing it. But if you're focusing on Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, if you're focusing on Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, if you're focusing on Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, there are things that you must learn first in order to do that. What's this Queen of Cups to the Six of Pentacles here? Eight Wands reversed, followed by the High Priestess, or the Empress is upright, the Devil reversed, followed by the Six of Swords reversed, followed by the Five of Wands reversed, followed by the Six of Cups is upright. Yeah, because you're focusing about your past. And when you're focusing about having your past, it's like there was something that was happening in that way, and you're thinking, why I'm having this problem, why I'm not doing so well, because things are not going as your way, things are not going as planned, and you're thinking, well, I'm having slow energy, I don't like this, because you're not having any speed, because that's the way it goes. It's like, why I'm not communication, why there's nothing about how it is, because that's what it seems to be, right? You have to do exactly what it takes, because that's how it is. What's happening in the middle of this situation? The Queen of Wands reversed, followed by the Five of Cups reversed, followed with the Five Pentacles upright. Yeah, because it represents basically you want to look for money, but then it's like, how would you look for money? How would you, based on that way of having your own way, your own ability from the right and wrong perspective? That's the way it seems to be. When it takes, you have to get involved. Whenever you get involved, you know what it takes, right? You know what I mean, right? That's what it means about vice versa, because that's how it is. So you could be easily dealing with in a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You can deal with in a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That's the thing it is, right? That's the way it goes. So what's happening between this Ace of Pentacles to this Hierophant? Chariot reversed, followed by the Eight of Swords is upright, followed by the Queen of Cups reversed, followed by the Knight of Wands reversed, followed by the Nine of Pentacles reversed. It means that you're basically the Nine of Pentacles reversed. It means that you're feeling uncomfortable, right? Because when you're feeling uncomfortable, things are not going as planned. Things are not going as the way how it goes. The Eight of Swords right there is anxiety, because you're feeling sad, you're whimpering, you don't know what to do. But the way how this is like, why I'm feeling this, why I need to do that, because that's the way it seems to be. You need to understand about how you can do it in one or another, and you have to face your own abilities from the right and wrong perspective. That's how it is. When you get that way of how it is, you have to know what it takes, and that way how it is. So let's see what's going on. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So Eight Cups reversed, followed by the Devil reversed, followed by the Five Wands is upright, followed by the Chariot is upright, followed by the Two Pentacles upright. Yeah, because you're balancing two things at once, right? That's what I said, right? The Chariot is upright because you're going to have progress. The Five Wands is upright. There's chaos here. That's the way it seems to be. And you're thinking, why I'm having this? Because things are not going as planned. Things are not going the way of how it is. It's like, why? Why I'm focusing on this? Because that's the way it goes. It's like, alright, well, I know what to do. I got this. But then it's like, well, not necessarily. That's why it seems to be. And when you pay attention to it, you have to know what it takes beyond about that way, right? That's why how it is, because you have to compare and contrast, like two things at once. That's how it seems to be. You pay attention to what it takes, but you have to get involved. That's why it seems to be. So what's happening with this Two Pentacles here? the King of Cups reversed, followed with the Emperor reversed, followed with the Justice reversed. So you're not telling the truth. But the Seven of Wands is already gives you're feeling deceit. Yeah, that's the way it goes, right? When you're feeling deceit, it's like things are not going as way, things are not going as planned. You know, you're feeling resilience. You're feeling like there are things are not going as the way it goes. It's like, you know, you're trying to feel like, okay, well, everything's gonna be all great, and I got this. It's like, how are you gonna get it? How are you going to, you know, do what you can? But then it's like, I don't know what to do. That's why it seems to be that. So it's happening between the middle and the right side. The King of Wands is reversed, followed by the Knight of Cups is upright, followed by the Queen of Wands reversed, followed by the Knight of Swords is upright. Yeah, because you're feeling trauma here, but the Knight of Cups is upright, there's romance here. Yeah, because you're feeling like there is lots of ways about how you can do it, because you're trying to believe that everything's fine, but then it's like how I can do it, how I can match my own inspiration about how it goes. I'm not trying to let it go. I'm not trying to do it, but that's the way it goes, right? You're trying to focus about what it takes in that way. What's in the middle of this situation? The Hangman reversed, followed with the Five of Swords reversed, followed by the Ace of Pentacles reversed, followed with the Ace of Cups reversed, followed by the Eight of Wands reversed. So there's no speed here, but the Ten of Swords is up because there's conclusions here. Yeah, because when there are conclusions, that's what's based on. Where you're thinking, well, I know what it takes, I got this, but it's like, how do you get it? How do you understand about how it seems to be? Like, are you thinking about everything seems to be fine, right? So let me try to figure out who's on the left side, who's in the middle, who's on the right. The Wheel of Fortune is upright, so you're going to have good luck. The Hierophant reversed, so there's no guidance. What's on the right side? The Hermit is upright, there's solitude, because you're looking for a soulmate. Yeah, because you're thinking that, okay, well, everything seems to be fine, I know what to do. So, let's see what's going on. So, let's see what's going on with this Wheel of Fortune of having good luck. The Justice is upright, because you're telling the truth. And the High Priest is upright, because you're going to use your inner voice. You know, there are things that you must learn first, where you're going to tell the truth, you're going to have their own basic story. That's why it seems to be, because that's how it is. And when you do that, you have to know exactly, okay, well, I know what to do, I got this, but then it's like, how I can do it, how I can know what it takes beyond about that, how it is, and you have to know exactly, right? That's why it seems to be, because you're thinking, okay, well, you know, it's the way of how it happens, because you need to have your own decency, your own self-respect, your abilities from how it is, from the right and wrong perspective. That's why it seems to be, because you have to understand that. Because you have to understand about how it is in one or another. What's happening with this Hierophant? The Strength card reversed, followed the Star reversed, followed the Lovers is upright. Yeah, because it represents that the Lovers has decisions. You have decisions that you're going to do exactly how you're told to do. The Strength card reversed, you have no, you're not being brave, right? Because you're scared, you're getting scared, right? That's how it is. And when you have the Star reversed, you have no inspiration because you're not wishing upon a star. Nothing like that. But that's how it is. It's like how you can understand in one or another where you can do what it takes because that's what it seems to be. You know what it is. You know how it is. And that's how it is, right? That's what it seems to be in that way. What's happening with this Hermit card? The Hangman is upright, but with the Temperance is upright. Yeah, it means that you're going to have restrictions and Temperance means that you're going to have healing. You know, that's the way it goes because you're healing about something. You're healing about how you can understand in one or another. So, you know, let me try to figure out what's happening because I'm trying to figure out what's going on through this Justice and this High Priestess on the left side for you. The Justice reverse, yeah, because you're not telling the truth. You were telling the truth, but you're not telling the truth. You know what I mean? Right? So you're trying to like saying, okay, well, I know what to do. I'm going to use my humor. You know, I'm going to make going to make someone laugh, whatever it is, because you're trying to understand that. You're trying to like saying, okay, well, if I'm not telling the truth, it's like I'm lying to you, or I'm telling the truth because that's how it is, right? You're trying to understand about what it takes in that way, right? You're trying to, like I say, you're comparing yourself between one thing to another. That's what it means, right? You have to understand that in that way. What's happening between these Lovers? The Chariot is upright, followed the Emperor reverse. Yeah, it means that you have no structure here, but then the cherry is upright because you're going to make progress. Yeah, that's how it seems to be. Because that's the way it goes. What's happening with this emperor? The tower is zero, so there's no healing, but the tower is upright, there is transformation. Yeah, because everything is going to change. When things are changing, it's like everything is transforming, right? It's like there's a life cycle at the same time, right? Because you have to figure out about what's going on through the way of how it is, right? If you're focusing about, the day by day, week by week, month by month, to year by year, if you're focusing on that, you're focusing on how that is. It's like that's how it seems to be in that way, and you have to know what it takes because that's how it is, right? That's the way how it is. What's happening between this Hangman and this Temperance card? The Hangman reversed, followed the Moon reversed, followed the Magician reversed, followed the Judgment reversed, followed the Lovers reversed, followed the Strength card upright. Yeah, because you're going to have strength because you want to do what it takes, because you're going to be brave and do what you can. That's the way it seems to be, because when you're focusing on that ability from the way how it goes, it's like how you can understand that in the way how this is, and you're thinking, well, that's how it is, right? That's the way it seems to be. So that's how it is. So let me focusing on this Justice card. The World reversed, so there's incompletion, and the Tower is upright, there's transformation. Yeah, because that's the way it kind of goes. And when you focus on that, you focus about what's going on in that ability from the right and wrong perspective. Because when you have your own sense of humor, you pay attention to it. That's what it is. That's what it remains in that society, because you're trying to know what it kind of is. So let me figure out what the universe is saying here. So I'm going to go from the middle to the left, middle to the right for you, Libra. From May 13th to May 23rd, 2025. So let's see what's going on here. So let me go from the middle to the left, middle to the right. So the Six of Swords is over, there's movement, okay? The Queen of Wands reversed, there's no charisma. Ten of Cups is over, there's support. Seven of Swords is over, there's deceit, yes. And the Six of Pentacles is over, there's kindness. Yeah, because you're trying to be kind in one or another, and then you're trying to act like you're being rude at the same time, right? So it's like you're trying to use your own, your own sense of humor, or you're trying to be funny, but how will you do it? Right? How do you make the other person feel from how you're feeling? That's what I think be. And when you do that, it's like how you can understand that in one or another. You're trying to have your own self humor to understand that, right? That's the way it goes, right? You're trying to express of how you're feeling, and you do exactly what you're told to do, right? That's how it seems to be. So you could be doing it in the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You could do it in the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. You're doing it in the Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, so there's 9 zodiac signs here in this lovely reading here. What's happening between the middle and the right side? Okay, so you have the Ace of Cups reversed, there's no satisfaction. Page of Wands reversed, there's no invention. The Seven of Pentacles reversed, there's no vision. The Ace of Swords start, there's an understanding here. Yeah, because you want to have an understanding because you understand what's going on in that way. You're trying to focus about what's going on in this here and now situation, because that's how it is. You're trying to do what it takes because that's the way it goes, and you have to do exactly what you're going to do in that way. What's in the middle of this situation? The Ace of Wands reversed, there's no new beginnings. The Page of Swords reversed, there's no education. Two of Swords is upright. So you're in the crossroads, which means you don't know which direction you're going to take, left or right. So let me try to figure out what's going on between the left side here. Okay, so you have the Three of Pentacles here, there's no excitement. What's on the right side? The Strength card is upright. So you're going to have bravery. What's happening between these Three of Pentacles? The Three of Swords here, there's no heartbreak. The Eight of Pentacles here, there's no perfection. But the Ten of Cups is upright, there's completion. Okay, so you have bravery and completion. What's in this whole entire middle? You have the Knight of Pentacles upright, there's trust. Yeah, because that's the way it goes. Because you're going to trust on how it is in that way, because you do what it takes. You know how you can do it. You know how you can proceed with caution. You know, that's the way it seems to be. And when things to be in that perspective, that's how it goes. You have to know how you're feeling in that way, and that's how it is. It's like how you can uh, do what it can, like do what it takes, because that's the way it kind of goes, right? That's the way it needs to be focused on. So let me try to read you the Enchanted Mapp here for you, Libra. Ooh, there's one card here, so okay. See what the spirit is telling me. Right, so let's see. Let's see what. Okay, so number 23, reverse is Golden Palace, so it's reversed. Interesting. Interesting. So it says for reversed. So here we go, Libra. Alright? It says, let go of your tight hold on what you believe security should look like. Now is the time to conserve your energy and count your blessings. Resist the pull to become mere misery. There will be enough money, love, youth, food, and shelter to go round. A mindset of fear and lack will shut off the flow of true abundance. Trust in the tides, because the flow always returns from the ebb. Chop wood, carry water, as the Chinese proverb says. Practice faith and treasure will be revealed. In fact, you will find it in plain sight. So it means that you're trying to figure out about how you can do it, because you have to believe in security. You believe about what's going on, and when things to be in the right perspective, that's how it is. Because the reading is like there will be enough money. There are going to be enough about lots of things, and when you have to get involved, it's like you practice faith. And the treasure will be revealed. In fact, you'll find it in plain sight. Like that's how it is, right? So you have to know about how you can do it in one way or another. You have to show, some respect. You have to believe in what it takes, because that's how it is. And when you do that, you have to understand about how it is in that way, and that's how it seems to be, right? That's why it goes in that perspective. That's how it is. So you have to understand about what it takes, because that's how it seems to be. And when everything needs to be good, that's how it is. When you focus on that, that's the way it seems to be. So I hope you all like this video. Please give it a like. Please give a comment. And this is the way it seems to be. And that's the way it kind of goes. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time when I do. And this is the way it seems to be. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day to all, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye for now. Really, thank you, and bye.